Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Wingman Wisdom. Before I even get into today's video, it appears there are some people, maybe just one people, that are pretending to be me. If you see a comment under this video that says, I have a gift for you, contact me, I want to send you something, that's not me. Please do not respond. We have reported that person every time a post comes up like that. That's not me. So do not respond. You have been warned. And if you like Wingman Wisdom, give it a like. Give the subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends on social media. I personally, although I don't have all the answers, I do have an old man's perspective. You probably have a pretty good perspective too if you're 45 and up. A couple of emails today. This one is from Raul Davila. And Raul, I think we may have met. You've got a familiar name, rings a bell. This is Wingman, longtime follower, lifelong RVer. Watched you on TV when I was growing up, wondering some about your background and how it led to your passion for the outdoors in general, and also RVing. I know you're a hunter. What kind of influence do you think the outdoors and hunting had in making you who you are today? Raul Davila. Raul, thank you very much. I would say that my hunting years as a boy and camping had everything to do with where I am today, with my values, with my thoughts and perspective on life. I'm no longer a hunter like you would think maybe that I would be, used to be. You know, I think hunting and life are very similar. When you hunt, for you people who are not hunters, you go through phases, kind of like phases in life. You know, the beginning phase of hunting, you really don't know anything, but you're excited about it. You want to learn everything there is about it. And then you go into this next phase when you finally shoot your first deer, or you shoot your first animal. You enter this different phase, for better or for worse. It's the truth. I'm not trying to convince you to hunt. I'm trying to draw the parallel between hunting and life and how it led me to the RV industry and to the great outdoors. So you begin being all excited. Then you shoot your first deer. And you get really excited. Most people do anyway. And then they want to learn everything they can about it. And they just eat it up. And that's what I did when I was a very, very young man. I just ate it up. I thought about it all the time. I wanted to fish all the time. I wanted to hunt all the time. I read all the books and magazines, everything that I could about fishing and hunting. Then as I got more proficient at it, I went to a kind of a different phase. And that phase was I started being selective. Instead of hunting with a rifle, I would start hunting with a bow and arrow. Archery hunting. I'd handicap myself, if you will. I'd muzzleloader hunt. I'd hunt with a handgun. I would do different things that were more challenging for me personally because I'd already done all that other stuff. And so where am I today? The truth is I'm still a hunter at heart. I understand all the phases of hunting, but I'm kind of in the final phase of hunting. I haven't hunted in quite some time, don't even have a hunting license, but I can look back at everybody that still hunts and I can say, I was just like that one time. And I have this wide, high level, 30,000 foot appreciation of everybody that hunts. Now, segueing to life, I think life is like that. When you're young, you're excited, you're trying all kinds of new things. You become an adolescent, a teenager, you learn even more, and man, you got it figured out. By the time you're 25, you got it all figured out. Except we don't, do we? We figure out we didn't have it always figured out. So you enter these different phases of excitement, experience, and then making mistakes. And we all make those mistakes. And that's where, as I've said, where I believe wisdom comes from. Then after the excitement phase, what do? We start specializing. We learn a craft. We learn a skill. We learn a profession. And that profession is what we stay with for most of our life. But as we're doing that, we can look back and we can say, I remember I was that kid that wanted a fast car. I was the kid that was influenced by those musicians out there. And boy, I wish I wouldn't have listened, but you'll learn something from that. Again, that is where I think wisdom comes from. So Raul, hunting and the outdoors played a significant part of who I am and where I am today. The great thing about the outdoors, whether you're fishing or hunting or camping or hiking or RVing, the outdoors doesn't care about who you are. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about what you want. The outdoors is just there, for better, for worse. It can be the most beautiful, welcoming place ever. And Mother Nature can be cruel and ugly and unforgiving. And being responsible, that's what the outdoors has taught me, is learning how to become responsible for me, to look ahead and to look at nature and say, those clouds coming in, that means one thing. If I notice things, I think I'm more aware because I love the outdoors, because I love to camp. I love RVing. I love hunting. I love fishing. I can look at the weather. I can look at how animals react, and it helps me in life. I call it the big eye. It gives me a great big view. And anyway, hopefully that gives you some input. All right, this one is from Donna P. And Donna P wants to know something. She wants to know my opinion on something. If you ask, I'll try to give you my honest opinion, not trying to make anybody mad, not trying to get you to agree with me. I am trying to get you to think, though, and go, because I promise, you write comments, you leave me voicemail messages, you write emails, and I think about every single one of the comments that you make. All right, Donna P says, my husband and I are about 10 years your senior. We enjoy watching your videos very much. We even like it when you talk about life and give some life advice. You recently shared your story about getting coronavirus. We found it very interesting, gave us many things to think about. Thank you for that. Since you seem to be open to talking about anything, how about giving us your thoughts on climate change? We've been around long enough to live through the we're all going to freeze to death. I remember that, do you? To the we're all going to burn up. To now, we need to destroy our world's economy to save the planet. It all seems a bit much. What are your views on climate change, and what do you think should be done? Thank you for what you do. Donna P. Well, Donna P., I'm flattered that you would ask. I'm not a scientist. Don't pretend to be one. I'm not a climate change expert. I'm not sure I should even dip my toe in the water of climate change, because it seems like there is this general consensus. We have to do something or we're all going to die. And I think that's not necessarily true. Are human beings a part of climate change? Of course we are. But guess what? Before these two-legged Homo sapiens were here, before any human being was here, this planet was experiencing climate change, and it will long after we are gone. It seems that if you don't agree with the consensus, whatever the consensus is, that you will be, first off, they'll try to ignore you. But if they can't ignore you, they will do whatever they can to cancel you. They will demonize people. And if you don't agree with the agenda, whatever that is about climate change, people are going to, they're going to get rid of you. You're not even going to see them. One of the smartest scientists, and by the way, they'll say, well, everybody agrees that climate change, we have to do something. That's not true. It's not true. Don't believe me? Look up a guy, and I've read a lot of his stuff, called Bjorn Lomborg. Bjorn Lomborg. He is super smart, and he understands climate and weather and the earth and history, and he can explain climate change things in a way that you can understand. I can understand. Governments try to control us. They do control us through, fear. They manipulate us through fear. They want us to be worried. Remember that thing called the pandemic? Oh my God. Don't go out of your house. Don't do this. Don't do that. They scared the hell out of us. And we took the bait. Not saying that that wasn't a scary deal, but they love it when we're scared, because when we're scared or when we're divided, when we hate somebody, we're very easy to manipulate. When it comes to climate control, I believe that government wants to control us. There's no way we can control the climate. Are you kidding me? They want to tell us what kind of cars we can drive. They want us to eat different kinds of food. We have too many cattle because they fart too much. We've got too much CO2 in the air. CO2 helps plants grow. It does. Now, can you have too much? Yeah, you can have too much. But human beings, I think we think way too much of ourselves. Here's a little thought exercise. If governments want us to, be afraid, when we're afraid, like at the beginning of the pandemic, and we were all willing to do just about anything, and most people did, they went and took this experimental thing they called a vaccine. What if everybody on the planet could be afraid that the planet is going to die? How good, if there's a government conspiracy out there, I know you're going to say, where's your tin hat? Just bear with me. The purpose of Wingman Wisdom is not to get you to agree with me. We're just exploring some ideas, a thought exercise, if you will. But if there was some body of people the World Economic Forum or whatever. There's somebody that wants to control everything about you, everything about me, our lifestyle. They want to control our currency. They want to control everything. How would they do it? What could happen where we would all be so afraid? How about a climate disaster? One that everybody on planet Earth would be scared to death about. Rightfully so. And they already have the answer. You know what I think it could be? God, I hate to say it, and I hope that this does not get me thrown off of YouTube. But what if a nuclear weapon were to go off, even a small tactical nuke? What if that happened? No matter who did it, what the reasoning was, no matter what, it would be catastrophic beyond our wildest imagination. First off, it would probably kill thousands, tens of thousands of people. But there would be a panic globally. And the people that want to control us would say, there's our opportunity. We need to control people. They will comply. Let's give them this. Isn't it funny when a new administration comes in at the White House and they introduce something like the healthcare package? Remember that was like a 6-foot tall bunch of documents that how did they do that? Because they've been working on it a long, long time. They had the answer, and then they created the problem. They said, here's the answer. The answer is we need to give up our freedoms. We need to surrender everything and submit to somebody else. I refuse to do that. I don't want to be canceled, but I'm not going to go down without my voice at least being heard. I'm hopeful that, who was it, Donna P? I'm hopeful I didn't run you off. I'm not trying to make enemies here. I'm really not. I'm trying to create some thoughtful conversation. Beyond Lomborg, Lomborg. Check him out. If you are I'm not a climate change denier. I just don't think that the polar bears are all going to die because of us and we're driving cars. I don't think that at all. I also think that we have never done a better job in having a cleaner planet than right now. Ever. No other country takes the precautions, takes the steps to protect their environment like we do. So we got to look at both. Yes, do we care about the environment? Absolutely. It goes back to what Raul, that first thing. I love the out of doors. I love nature. I want to preserve nature, but not at the expense of making me go back and cut my grass with a sickle. I don't want to do that. Well, you can't have a lawnmower anymore because all that nasty pollution it puts out there. There's got to be a balance in here somewhere. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your calls, your voicemails, your emails like Donna P. and Raul did. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. I'll see you next time.